So I'm going to start with the vintage setting on the master mode, the USA setting on the EQ side of things, and on the clean on the gain control, and the bright and tight switches aren't engaged as of yet. I'm just going to play a variety of different styles with this channel, and then I shall move on to the others. And I'll bring the tight and bright switches in and out. So here we go. Sounds great for that. It's got a lot of spank to it, which is great. And then staying on the same setting, you get a very authentic country sound. Clarity, typical of, say, a Fender amplifier. And now I'll demonstrate the bright switch on the USA control. So this is it normally. Very luscious, clean sounds, and then you move on, and then you click on the bright. Adds a lot more sparkle and a lot more top end, and you can almost hear the natural woods of the guitar. And then, so I'll take the bright off and then bring in the tight switch. So at the moment it's on the depth setting. And the same thing with the tight switch. And it may not come across on the camera, but here it tightens up the low end and gives you a lot more punch and snap. Now I'm going to move on to the AC, still on the vintage on the master section, and you get a different voicing for the mid-range. Quite a honky sound, reminiscent, as I said earlier, of a Vox. And then what you can do with this is push the gain up a little bit more, master down, staying on the bridge pickup. Get a nice bit of crunch. And that gives you a nice crunchy lead tone for, say, a country solo. And then moving on to the brick control, so this would be a more martially voicing, still on the clean setting on the gain knob and the vintage setting on the master section. And it sounds like this. Clarity, and you can still roll the volume control off, even though it's very little gain, still get a lovely clean sound. Engage the bright control on that. Gorgeous. Now I'll take the bright and tight switches off, move it over to the modern setting on the master section, and you get, this is much more gainy sound. And back onto the USA on the tone controls, and still on the clean setting. be able to get your classic rock sounds and then move on to the AC, still keeping the same controls as before. Again, shifting the mid-range, getting a much more quacky response, as I said earlier, and gets a really juicy bluesy tone. Moving on to the brick. A lot more bark to it. And you can still get a really dynamic clean sound. So, already you've got a plethora of tones available to you. Now moving on to the hot setting on the gain control, back to the USA switch, and this is what it sounds like. Gain about 1 o'clock. As you can hear already, a lot more gain than what we previously had. So I'm going to push the gain up a little bit more, move to the AC switch, and you get this quality. Tight mid-range, and then you can still clean it up really nicely. There you go. And now, moving on to the brick finally, push the gain all the way up, and you get some particularly juicy tones. So that is what the tweeter sounds like with a Strat style guitar. Now I'll move on to my Les Paul.